Natalie, I'm so frustrated. This is the fourth time I'm starting this video. I keep the dogs keep on going crazy. Something just keeps, and someone's at the door. Let's see if we can get through this one. Okay, so first of all, thank you for kicking things off. That's not always the easiest thing to do, so kudos to you for that. I want to address your writing because there's some really interesting things here. Now, those of you who are watching along, please pay attention to these comments because these are extremely relevant. All right, Natalie, you're saying your first comment just kind of sets things up. Then you say, although Futura was created during the Bauhaus movement, which occurred in Maria's life, the font American typewriter wasn't created until the 70s. Okay, why is that such a outstanding statement to make in this project, the presentation of this project? And the reason it is because, Natalie, you are paying attention. So what you've done is you've read through the course resources and you're realizing that historicism is relevant to design. So theoretically, could one design a Marie Curie poster using typefaces that were created in 2019 or 2018 or 2020? Sure. But as a professional designer, what we do is we study, we research, we take a look at history. What typefaces were available during this time and what would represent this time most accurately. Since it is a historical piece, it is representing historicism, we might as well use that to our benefit to keep things factual, right? So yes, indeed, great choice of typefaces because you're giving good reasons, all right? Futura is a great typeface, and that is appropriate for the time frame. And then American Typewriter wasn't developed till 1970. However, it is based on a typewriter font, which is perfectly relevant especially for the reasoning that this would have been represented or mimic the style of what would have been seen in reports. So your reasoning for your typefaces is impeccable. Nice work. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the piece. Now, the first thing I see, I'm, I don't think the color scheme is working. I really don't. Now, Jenna had mentioned, and by the way, Jenna, nice critique, good job. But Jenna mentions there's some visual vibration going on here, and there is. And visual vibration is created when the contrast is not optimal. So when you have two high contrasting colors, specifically this neon green and this orange, it kind of looks like it's vibrating on the page. That's something we want to avoid. I'm just not. Now, listen. Now, I'm going to make this comment, and again, this is for the entire class, not just for you, Natalie. So every mark, every color, every design element, every font choice, every caption, every mark on a composition has to have a reason for being there. We don't place things on, and looking cool is not a reason. It all has to tie into content, okay? So the color choices here, I think, are they relevant to Marie Curie's studies? And if they are, I'd like to know how. What do these colors represent and how are they relevant? Okay, so the other thing I want to mention is that this looks good, but this eye right here, I mean, this is a test tube, right? I think it can be further developed. And with these bubbles coming out, this eye and the tittle, you could probably just take a couple more of those bubbles and have them coming out, and it's going to replace the eye. I mean, the visual continuation and a visual manipulation is going to allow the viewer to look at this and perfectly recognize this as an eye. Okay, watch your width, though. You want to try to stay as consistent to the typeface as possible. As far as the kerning goes, there's some areas that need to be adjusted for your kerning, especially in the subhead here. We've got some really wide gaps here, so watch your kerning. Also, watch your alignment. And there's another basic kind of a loose rule in design that everything on a page should align with something. As we can see, this doesn't align. Okay, so we're going to either take this and pull it over here and align it with the C. Okay, and I think that would be the best one. I also think that saving lives is a little bit too large in relationship to the head Marie Curie. So I would reduce that size a little bit, bring it up in alignment here, and then take that whole configuration. And I think we should bring this down here to the bottom, more towards the bottom of the page. Watch my cursor, something like this for the configuration. And what that's going to do is that's going to kind of mimic this liquid in the bottom of the test tube residing at the bottom of the page. So we'll take this whole configuration, bring that to the bottom of the page to mimic the negative space associated with the area on top of the liquid in the test tube being represented by the negative space being greater at the top of the composition. Does that make sense? And again, I'm just using what we have here to make some design and layout decisions for us. Okay, that said, again, I just think that just execution, keep working on this. Now, I'm guessing that this is going to somehow turn into a timeline, right? So you just really want to pay attention here. Make sure your execution is impeccable, and go ahead and make those changes if you agree with them. And if you have any questions at all, Natalie, or if I can provide any clarifications on the comments I've made in the last 6 minutes, let me know. I'll be glad to provide anything in that regard. Okay, great job. Thanks for kicking things off. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Natalie.